This is the GTA, and it's a car that I built a number of years ago. For the last couple of years, it's just sat in the garage being neglected. I took it off the road and then this coronavirus thing hit. So it's a home-built car. It's got a Kawasaki ZZR1100 engine in it. MG BGT wheels and running gear, and the rest of it's just made out of scrap. So the cooling fan doesn't work. When I put the switch on, it just blows the fuse. That's a 20 amp fuse as well, so there's something wrong. I used the battery for another project, so I had to take the steering column out to get the battery out, so the steering's not connected. I don't like the colour. I used this wrapping, this stuff, the plastic wrap, and the colour is just awful. I like red, but it just doesn't look good. I've made a 4-into-1 exhaust for it recently, but it's never actually been used. On the back, the number plate light shines out the back, and the MOT people don't like that. So there's a bit of work to do to it. It hasn't actually started in about a year. I think I started it last summer. So we are going to have a look at that. So now the battery's in, I can get the steering column connected back up. I'm sort of guessing at where it goes because the wheels are turned at the moment, but I've got a 1 in 3 chance of getting it right. Right, turn the handbrake off and see if we can get this out. The first job is to get some of this rubbish off the car, because I've been using it as a dumping ground for some of my other projects. So this is the fuse box, and that's a 20 amp fuse that it keeps taking out whenever I switch the fan on. So we've got to get to the bottom of that. And this should come out. Excellent. I think this will work. We'll see what happens. So behind the O-ship bar is the switch for the fan. There's quite a draft coming from that. I don't really want to stick my fingers in it, but even though it's not sitting behind the radiator pulling air through it, I think that will keep the car nice and cool when I sit in traffic jams. The problem with the number plate light is the light shines out the back of the car and it's not good. So I need a new bracket. Actually, this bracket that I put in it last time is just, it's not very good, is it? I need something better. 11/16, I think that'll be okay. These spanners are surprisingly flexible. Might have to weld a little cover over it to keep the light in. Come on. 5 minutes. Happiness is opening up the side of the welder and finding a spare reel of wire. Excellent. Oh, there it is. Excellent. Good stuff. Let's carry on. I want to carry a spare petrol tank because the tank I've got in the car is only 20 litres. So I want to mount this here, so I need a bracket. So this is it finished. Tank goes on. And I've got this bracket with over centre catches, which should hold it like that. Nice one. Now I've got to paint it and put it on the car. That'll do. Okay, so there are better ways to paint a car. I'm just doing it like this because it's cheap and easy. This is what the back end looks like. So that's my fuel tank. That's the seat, back of the seat belt spool. That's the drive shaft, sorry, rear axle in there, drive shaft coming down from there. That's the panhard rod going from left to right. I've got tie rods in the corners, so down there is one tie rod going to the chassis, and there's another tie rod down there. Coil-over suspension. The upper tie rod is here, going to the front of the car. That down there is the fuel pump, and that's it. Definitely looking fairly red. I did try and paint the Union flag, but it didn't go very well. I'm not particularly artistic, so I bought the Union flag sticker instead and stuck that on. So the Union Jack is a square flag which goes on the jack pole at the back of a boat. The Union flag is rectangle and is bigger. I know it's not a flag, okay? It doesn't wave on a mast. It's screwed to the back of the car, but it'll do. Because the car was made in England, well, Great Britain.
The latest this hour, specialist support's being offered to a community in Plymouth following the place.
So this is my handbrake. The mechanism, it's either from a Mini or it's from an MG. I can't remember. Might find they're the same. Down here at the bottom is the micro switch for the handbrake light. This is the gear change, which all seems to work. These things here are a pair of loppers, so for cutting tree branches. So they used to hinge down here and cut branches, but I repurposed them. This lever here is from a pair of shears. So there we go, it all seems to work. The time has come. Now I've got nowhere to put it. Now I'm stuck.
Fozzie Insane and Status Quo Caroline was for Steve-O before.
I think most of my exhaust paste has set because I left the top off. Oh, well, we'll see what we can get. I could only weld in 3 of the pipes because the 4th one, of course, I can't get the welder to. So the last pipe has to have lots of putty round it. Come on. You know you want to. Oh, tits. These little half moon windscreens that I've got never quite fitted properly, so they were actually bolted to the panel. So I am going to re-bolt them, making sure that they're screwed to the chassis. So I'm going to put some nuts on here that I can bolt these to after the panel has gone on. I need to make sure the drill bit doesn't scoot through and dive into the rev counter. Ah, tits. Just like that. I don't know which bit I've cut, but I've cut something somewhere. Excellent, that'll do. I need some pop rivets to hold my little Union flags on. That looks okay. 4 of those, please. Well, 2 of those to start with, and when I do the other side, I'll fit them. There. I knew I put it somewhere. This is my favourite toy. At the moment, I've got the side panel painted, exhaust is on, I've got the windshield on, and the, I can't remember. Let's do that bit again. That's my wing mirror. I'm not sure what it's off, but that bit goes through the panel and the nut goes on the outside. It's off something, not sure. That's my rear view mirror, and that's an aftermarket one that's supposed to go on a Mini or something like that. That's just a bottle cap with a magnet in it. Time to pop rivet the Union flag on the side. This is still my favourite tool. I just like the noise. There, rear view mirror. Not that it does much good. I mean, it's difficult to see behind you, but it's there. Before I put the rest of the scuttle on, this is how the steering and the pedals connect through. So the steering rack is down there at the end. This is the steering, not the steering arm, what do you call it? Column. I know it had a word. Steering column. That is the brake master cylinder. So behind here, the brake pedal is this one. So that just pushes through into the brake master cylinder. This switch up here is my brake light switch. So when I push the brake pedal down, it throws the switch. That's the throttle, which just connects through to the throttle cable, and the clutch is down there. The clutch pedal actually is the old clutch lever for the motorbike, which needs a clean, but one day I'll clean it. Now I'm going to put the scuttle on. Look, I've scratched my new paintwork. Oh well, never mind. So the strap goes between the two ignition coils. Oh look, I've shut the other strap in the bonnet. Ugh. Come on. There. That's better. Good job. For the seats, this is the underlay, so it's just foam. That one goes at the back, that one goes at the front. The main seat cushion is just a cushion off a settee, off my old settee actually. And that just fits in there like that. Let's see what happens. I think it's out of petrol. It's about filled up now. Try again. Yep, the fuel pump sounds different now. I think probably because it's actually pumping petrol. That's good.